Now we are going to discuss about the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So, Comptroller and Auditor General of India is the apex or accounting authority, like Comptroller General of Accounts, sorry, CGA. Comptroller General of Account is a apex level accounting authority of central government and exercise the powers of president under Article 150 of the Constitution for the prescribing the forms of accounts of the union and state government on the advice of the Comptroller and Auditor General. It is the principal accounts advisor to Government of India and is responsible for establishing the maintaining a technical sound management of accounting. So he prepares a critical analysis of expenditure, revenue, borrowing, and the deficit of finance, and prepare the consolidated the non-government monthly accounts and present detailed analytical review of union government to finance ministry every month. The review covers major aspects of receipt, expenditure, fiscal deficit, financing facilitated during the year, tackling the higher level. Besides, provision of accounts for the year also prepared end of the financial year, like internet every month its websites are present like www.indiagovernment.org, www or mia.government.in. So it is a annual appropriation accounts and union finance account for the presentation of the parliament. Now it's present to the parliament annual appropriation and finance account and laid before the parliament during the budget session. Ensure a sound and effective internal audit and pre-check system. Enable prompt and accurate accounting. Okay, auditing and accounting. Ensure the effective close monitoring of receipt of the government. Okay, and enable the effective utilization of accounts as a tool of management, upgradation of the quality of the account, leading to improve the financial control. Organization of Controller of General of Account is also responsible for government disbursement and banking arrangement, ministries and department, and also closely monitor the extent system of mean of periodical instruction. Controller General of Account also brings out every year a booklet titled Accounts at the Glance, bringing out broad and significant feature of the government and also looking after the computerization of the government. Okay, so consolidated monthly account of the government of India and reporting on the primary responsibility. The monthly account are like and monthly review also. It present the expenditure, revenue collection, internal external borrowing, fiscal deficit. A summary of monthly accounts is also placed to the web also. So the central pension was or authorized disbursed. So the central pension account office functioning under the CGA and payment of pension made public sector banks and maintain a data bank on pensioners also. So ministry and departments approach the Controller General of Account for advice on accounting procedure for new schemes, programs and activities, and generally cover aspects related to the maintenance of the account, collection of receipts and crediting the government account, release the payment and accounting, creation the operation of funds, introduction of Controller General of Account on accounting matters. Okay, it's binding on the ministry and department. And this section is also responsible for administration and maintenance of civil annual account manual. So Comptroller General of Account is responsible for the evaluating the processing the proposal relating to the capital restructuring and government and its submission of Ministry of Finance. And generally the proposal involve the appraisal of strategy proposal for reviewing the proposal to clear distinction in made between the government as a whole as a regulator and its commercial interest also in industry participants. So this was like whole function of the CGA. Now we are going to discuss about the Comptroller and Auditor General. So what is the work of the Comptroller and Auditor General? Comptroller Auditor General so is a authority established by the Constitution of India under Article 148 to 151. Under Article 148 of Indian Constitution, CAG is the appointed by the President of India and recommendation of the PM. So every person appointed to be Comptroller and Auditor General before they enters upon the office has to make and subscribe before the President on oath and affirmation in form of prescribed for the purpose. So Cake is the rank of ninth and enjoy the same status of judge of Supreme Court. Okay, in India, in order to precedence. His salary and other condition of service may be okay. His salary and other his salary and other condition of service may be determined by the parliament, but once appointed, neither his salary nor his right in respect of leave, absence, pension, or age of retirement can be varied on its disadvantage. So, after retirement or registration from office, he is not eligible for any office of profit under the Government of India or any state government. The administrative expenses of the Office of Comptroller Auditor General, including the salaries of the office staff, are charged upon the Consolidated Fund of India. So, CAG per se has evolved with time. Although the ancient and medieval administration established a coherent account and audit organization, it went into decay. Like subsequently, it was the British who introduced a proper system of accounting and auditing. This system is being followed by and large in our country. So, when the East India Company administration was taken over by the Crown, its complementary post of Accountant General at the Indian office was created to prepare the account of the expenditure incurred in England. Simultaneously, an independent auditor was appointed, crowned by audit of the account. This arrangement, Accountant General to the Government of India, who was designed as Auditor General. So, the statutory recognition of Auditor General came and with the introduction of Consolidated Reform, Government of India Act 1935 gave further recognition to importance and status of office. In incorporation of the Government of India Act in independence, the authority of the Auditor General was further enhanced. Auditor of Indian account in United Kingdom, and with the subsequent integration federal structure of the union, his audit responsibility was extended whole of India and consolidated constituted Act 1950. So, Auditor General as a Comptroller and Auditor General, the role and duty responsibility discussed under Measure 2 head accounting duties, auditing duties. So, Comptroller and Auditor General should audit all the expenditure receipt of the Government of India and territory. He is also empowered to audit the expenditure and receipt of body of authority, finance and union and state, and it prepared to submit the finance accounts and appropriation account to the President, Union Territory, and it provides information to the Union State government for preparation of their annual budget. The real duty of the Comptroller and Auditor General, the primary audit function is to verify the accuracy and completeness of the accounts, to secure that all financial transaction, receipt, and payment are properly recorded, correctly classified, and that all expenditure and disbursement are authorized and vouched that some due. And it's she acts as a watchdog to see that the various authority under the constitutional function in the regard to financial matters in accordance with the constitution and law of parliament. So to audit all the receipts into the expenditure from Consolidated Fund of India and having legislative assembly, and to ascertain whether the money shown in the account as having been disbursed were legally available for the applicable to the service of purpose, to audit all the transaction of the union and state relating to the contingency fund and public account, to audit the trading, manufacturing, profit loss accounts of balance sheet, subsidiary accounts and union and state, and to audit receipt and expenditure of bodies or authorities substantially financed from the union and state revenue, to audit the accounts of government companies, corporation established by the under the law of parliament, to audit accounts of bodies of authorities. Okay, so in connection with the discharge of the auditor duty, Comptroller or Auditor General inspect any office of accounts under the control of union and state, including the treasury and office responsible for keeping in short, Comptroller and Auditor General responsible for the audit of the account of the union and state and bodies substantially financed from the union and state. So audit has been entrusted by the law to public interest in performance of duties Okay, so like CAG should be given the responsibility to audit public-private partnership also, and it's also yet arrived PPP. Okay, so in PPP also, like PPP model also CAG works, and most of the funds are bought in by the private sector. The construction management operational risk transferred to the private sector partner. The work culture decision making process of private sector are different from the public sector. So meanwhile, the expert who favor the public audit of PPP, it is the authority of the government public entity to provide the goods and service to the public affordable cost, and government public agency retain accountability. So the public auditor can confine his audit to data document in position of public sector partners. However, it may be devise public partner to obtain the additional information from the private partner. So CAC should be multi-member institution and need the government for reports to the 2G spectrum coal block allocations. And CAG is the, it's the idea of auditing like review. Also, like BJP leader Murli Manoj Joshi also endorsed the idea of the multi-member body of the CAG. And S.Y. Qureshi, CAG will become more powerful if it has more than one member. So I won't comment on timing, but making CAG a multi-member body would be better. So it is, there are different models across the country. There are multi-member CAG in the country like France and Japan. In France, they sit a court. They can punish defaulters. Japanese model is commission of audit. They have certain seizure powers also. So how CAG works, you can see.